George recently returned home after attending a trade show where he met with Tina, a representative of Envirostar. After learning a little bit about Envirostar, George decided to take a look at the Envirostar website. As George looked through the site, he came across a series of technical articles and decided to read an article about specific heat. George learned that specific heat is a fundamental concept that future Envirostar articles would build on to explain how Envirostar technology could be used to help companies using industrial dryers become more profitable. As George read on, he learned that specific heat is a property of a substance, kind of like the density or hardness of a material, and is a measure of how much heat it takes to change the temperature of a material. George pondered the fact that it takes more heat to increase the temperature of a material with a high specific heat than material with a low specific heat. As George continued, he reflected on his time in the kitchen helping prepare Thanksgiving dinner. George recalled placing a copper pan on one burner while placing a ceramic pot on another burner and setting both burners to the same temperature. After a couple of seconds, George decided to move the dishes off the burners and pushed the ceramic pot to the back of the stove. As George reached for the copper pan, he recoiled in pain as he burned his hand. He didn't give it much thought at the time, but it occurred to him now that he was able to handle the ceramic pot comfortably while burning himself on the copper pan because of the different specific heats of each pot. As George refocused on the article went on discussing the importance of understanding the specific heat of the raw materials being run through a dryer. The article closed by explaining that George should call Envirostar to learn more about how specific heat can be used to help improve material recovery, energy consumption and product quality in drying processes. George picked up his cell phone and dialed the number listed in the article. As George waited for his call to go through, he noticed that an email address and website was also listed.